On this very special episode of Essenza, we will be interviewing Ariana Nathani, the host of Drinks First, a New York City matchmaking podcast and event brand. We will be chatting about dating, the ick, and growing up Indian, and more. Later on, we will try some Diwali outfits created by legendary designer Prashant Goyal of Heritage India. We will share some sneak peeks of me walking in his show during New York Fashion Week. All this and more on Essenza. I do want to hear more about, Drinks First, because that is on the rise right now. So you started at Ludlow House. That was your first event?
I did. So I started the podcast in 2019. The idea behind it was I interview anonymous singles based in New York City, and my listeners can match with them. So it was born out of this frustration of dating apps. This was pre-COVID, and people want to meet in a different way. And with dating apps, things are really biased and gamified, and you're just not getting the same kind of interaction you might get if you were to actually meet somebody and get to know them, and then attraction grows from there. And also, statistically, it's harder for people of color to meet people on dating apps. It's harsher.
They're not rocking with me. I don't know why. I send my DM, I'm like, would you like one hot chocolate with like a straw and we'll share it?
Oh, God.
Okay, whatever, it's fine. Is that not the right way to slide into a DM?
Honestly, no. Respond to someone's story. That's what you gotta do.
But what about on an app? Like if you're on an app, how are you gonna
If you're on Instagram, you respond to someone's story.
Okay.
If you are on an app, I don't know, if you're on Bumble where you have to make the first move, maybe you talk about something that's in that person's bio or something that they're wearing, a photo, try and relate to them, ask them about themselves, so you can get a conversation really going. I started Drinks First as a podcast in 2019, and the community just grew. In 2021, I had the opportunity to host my first event. At this point, there were fans of the podcast, people wanted to meet. I did my first event at Ludlow House in 2021. And from there, it just kind of took off. So now I do events 1 to 2 times a month. They range from as small as 20 people to as large as 2,000 plus. They get massive. And I work with a number of different venues across the city.
Are the people that you interview, are they slaying the day? Are there some rough times out here?
It's a mix between both. I've been doing Drinks First for about 4 years. There are people on it who are now engaged, not from Drinks First, but there are people who are still dating, people who've met from events that I've thrown, people who have moved in together, so there's definitely success, but I also think of success differently. When you're in your early 20s, success might just be going on as many dates as you can and meeting as many people. When you're in your later 20s, it might be more I'm gonna settle down and I want a more serious relationship. So I think success can be defined in all ways, and so people find success however they want to.
That's the best way of even saying that. I've just gone on some horrible dates recently. It's the summer of really bad dates and getting the ick all the time.
That's valid.
It's so bad. I was saying to my friend yesterday, I don't talk to anyone anymore, to date, because I just get an ick.
I know, it kind of feels like a waste of time in a way.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
And then I'll put on my little makeup and I'll drink my one glass. Okay, I'll drink 4 glasses of wine. And then I'm I want to talk to a cute little person. And there's nobody to talk to because I don't talk to people.
I know, it's hard in person. I think that's why I tried to add this event aspect to Drinks First, where people can meet in person. They have that social permission to go up to someone because you're kind of at the events for the same reason.
So today we are at Heritage Indian Fashions with the designer himself.
Prashant Goyal. I'm so happy to be here, and thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Let's talk about your inspiration for these pieces.
Well, it's mainly from my travels. I love meeting different cultures, people, and learning from their craft and bringing that into our Indian heritage. So stitching, embroidery, jewels, using Swarovski crystals on our fabrics. It's an art. Not everyone can do it, and I'm very, very fortunate to have like 10 artists in our factory that have been with us 5 generations, that have been working with us, uniquely like to create one of a kind. And we love to bring it to New York, to our showroom, you know. And so when our clients purchase, they're wearing a one of a kind piece, you know. It has to be very unique, and it has to make a statement.
And I do think that this makes quite the statement.
Yeah.
The statement is, I should be in a Bollywood movie and replace Priyanka Chopra.
100%. Much better than Priyanka. Come on,
better.
come on. More beautiful.
More beautiful. I don't speak Hindi. I can't really sing. I can't really dance.
That's all right. That's fine. So this is one of our pieces for the men. It's completely hand embroidered, hand stitched. It's pretty much custom made. Like everything I make is American sized. This fabric that I collected, it was from south of India, and it's intricate. My artisans have hand embroidered it to this fabric, and we turned it into a sherwani. So it's just it's a traditional outfit in Indian culture for weddings, and guests can also wear this.
Yeah, I mean, if I saw someone wearing this Sherwani, homie could, like, get it.
Everything like this is like a one of a kind. It's pure silk, all hand embroidery, has real pearls in it. We try to make things very, very unique.
You found 2 amazing pieces for me. I'm not going to even say I found them myself because genuinely I don't really have a lot of style, but please tell me about them.
These are made from chiffon silk, and it's all hand beaded, hand embroidery. So everything we make at Heritage India Fashions is completely handmade, one of a kind. And these are perfect for like Diwali or for wedding guests.
This is the first look. It's in green. And I didn't really think that I was made for green. I am made for green. Like, if green could have a new name, it would be called Ariana. And I feel like Princess Jasmine, if Princess Jasmine was as hot as me. So, I kind of maybe love this one a little more. Reddish, pinkish. It also might just be me. I'm a very photogenic person. But I'm thinking because red is the color of fall this season, this might be my new look for fall. Every day in this fall, you're gonna see me wearing this. I'm also getting ready for my wedding with my new husband, and I'm really excited about that. We're in love. What would you say is the future for Heritage?
I see Heritage in maybe 4 cities in the next 10 years. And I also see Heritage in a lot of the bigger high-end stores.
So, Ariana, have you always been a force to be reckoned with?
Definitely not.
Tell me about growing up here. You grew up in New York City, right?
I did. I'm a native New Yorker, born and raised in New York City.
And how do you go from native New Yorker, born and raised in New York City, to entrepreneur, drinks first owner, partier, girl?
I mean, I think growing up in New York is the most unique experience someone can have. You are surrounded by diversity, surrounded by creativity. It's hard to not be inspired by all the people that you grow up around. So, I mean, that is probably the origin
That's
story.
amazing. So did you ever have like these little, I don't know, growing up, at least for me being Indian, I had always like very embarrassing moments. I don't know about you. I had a bowl cut.
I
you have
had
a bowl
like
cut?
I had like bangs and like a little fountain ponytail.
How old were you?
I must have been like 3.
Oh, come on. I was like 15. That's crazy.
My mom would like cut my hair short at certain aspects of my life, and I like straight up looked like Dora. So,
Love. And did
I've been there.
anyone love it? Was it like a sleigh?
It
at
was
the
not
time?
a sleigh. It was not a sleigh.
I was tricked into doing it. My mom was like, "You're gonna look just like Jennifer Aniston."
Interesting.
I did not look like Jennifer Aniston. I'm like gonna have like an insert of this picture right here. It did not look good. Because, you know, you're a New Yorker, you know the city. Where would you go on a first date?
That it's That's such a good question. I think there's so many options. So it depends. Like, one of my favorite bars is Katana Kitten, which is in the West Village. It is a fabulous bar. It's like world's top 50 bar, but it's super casual. They don't take reservations. The drinks are just, they are so good. If you're not like looking to drink, you know, there's a really great like mini golf place in Williamsburg that's like right on the water. That's fun. I also, like, I just went to this piano lounge called Silver Linings Lounge, which was so fab. If anyone took me there on a first date, it would be on site. Like,
Really?
Yeah, it was. I highly recommend. It felt very like old New York, sexy, glamorous. Like, definitely a spot to check out.
Okay, and I want to play a little game because there's so many different types of people who have different likings, right? But you're the drinks first girl, so you know the spots to be. So if you were like if you're going on a date with like a Goldman Sachs, like Blackstone fellow, where would you take him on that date?
Look, honestly, I would hope they would take me
Okay,
out
where
on
would
a
he
date.
take you on that date? What would be okay?
Well, I do think Silver Lining would be an amazing spot. It's kind of pricey, but really gorgeous, and there's like live music and things like that. Discolo is another gorgeous, gorgeous bar. It's underneath a Michelin star restaurant. There's like, if you want to grab a bite after, there's some very good food options up there, but it's like this disco cocktail club. That's what they call it. Very sexy, very chic. Drinks are expensive. I
love that.
I would ask them to take me there.
So what about a total like 360? What if it's like an artsy stoner, skateboardy, lives in a box, calls it a shack?
Where would we go on a first date?
Where would we go on a first date?
I mean, we could go to like a happy hour. Like, there's this happy hour on the Lower East Side at this place called Verlaine, and they do like, when I was younger, I think it was like a $7 lychee martini, and it was like pretty much all night long. They might have upped the prices now because of inflation. Might be like $9 or something like that. But
you think I have $9? That's crazy.
Like, I mean, that would be kind of slay. There's like Alligator Lounge in Williamsburg where you can get like a cheap drink and a pizza for free.
Yes, is that the place with the photo booth?
There might be a photo booth there.
I like that place a lot.
Twins, I would definitely go to Twins in Greenpoint. They have pool. All the drinks are cheap. It's cash only. Crowd's very Brooklyn.
What would you wear to a first date? What's the vibe?
I think I'm like I love a nice top, fun pant combo. You know, like keep it kind of simple, all black. Like that's easy. That's very New York. I'm never too like loud or revealing, I guess, on a first date, but it really depends the context, I guess.
But how's dating been for you?
I just got out of a 1.5-year relationship, like 2 weeks ago.
All right.
But it was a lovely relationship. He's a lovely person. It just wasn't the right thing for us long term. So I'm now single and back to the grind, I guess.
Hot girl fall.
Hot girl fall.
Hot girl autumn.
Cuffing season.
Cuffing season for sure. And I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you're doing exactly what you love and you're back on the grind.
Yeah. It's definitely weird to be back, but I've been surrounded by the dating ecosphere for like even while I was in a relationship. It's what I do for work, so it doesn't feel so foreign.
And that's what I think is so great about you. You're like the mother of dating in a way.
Oh my god.
So you have like these, or the big sister, fine. I'm not gonna go
I'm
mother.
like, damn, I'm not that old.
The big sister. So like you go through all these, you know, the relationships and you have these journeys. What did you, I mean, you don't have to get too personal, but what did you learn in the past relationships you've had?
You know, I think you learn something from every single relationship you're in, whether it's good or bad. I've been lucky to have just mostly positive, like long-term relationships with people. If I've definitely had my fair share of negative experiences, just not with people that I've like been with longer term. And when I like think about those long-term relationships, it's very much like learning about self-respect, who you are in a relationship, how you show your love to someone, how you receive love, like all of those things you only learn in a relationship. How to be a good partner to someone, what kind of partner you are, like those aren't things you know when you're necessarily dating, and those are things that somebody can bring out of you when you're in a long-term relationship. And I think I learned a lot about just myself and respect from being in like the relationships I've been in.
Would you start like a Yelp page for yourself?
A Yelp page?
Yeah, have someone like leave a review and like 1 to 5 stars.
You know, I'm okay. Maybe I'll send all of my exes like a Google form to fill out or something. Like a customer satisfaction survey.
I love that. That's a great idea. I feel like I would not get the greatest reviews. I've had the worst like relationships in my lifetime, and not even in a, like a mean way. Just like I'm just a mess sometimes. You know what I mean?
I think we all are. We all have those moments.
Things are messy. It's not as glamorous.
You're young. You have time.
I had a couple years.
Yeah, you have
before
time.
I have to, have a bunch of kids and live in a minivan or whatever they do.
You've got a decent amount of
a couple
time.
years.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly my relationships are from way earlier on, but I think that I always had like I would watch these movies and I would see this beautiful girl and this beautiful guy and everything is perfect.
No, it doesn't work like that.
And it doesn't work like that. Relationships are, it's a choice. It really isn't.
Yeah, it
a
is
feeling.
a choice.
It's a constructive thought for sure.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the relationships I wanted when I was in high school because the guys that I liked didn't like me.
It happens to everyone.
Bowl cut. And I would wear sandals. Like, I know I said that was an ick. I was the ick. I was wearing the
We
sandals.
have all been in that situation. It's fine.
It was pretty bad, but I'm glad to, to grow from that, and that's what it's
Yeah,
all
you don't
about.
want to feel like you peaked in the past, you know?
No, there is no peaking
There's
here.
no peaking
There's
here.
no
We're just
peaking.
continuously going up.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you soon.